All right, and welcome to another episode of Eat Smoke. No, sorry. I keep saying that. Planty Face. Another episode of Planty Face. Today I'm going to be repotting my Pachypodium saundersii. Okay? Pachypodium saundersii. Look, this one here has been a rapid grower. Very, very fast grower. But very impressed with it actually. Let me just get rid of this water. This has been a rapid grower. I got it when it was quite small, and literally in one season it grew all of this double, okay? And what I'm going to do is, what I've found with these larger Pachypodiums that grow faster is that, what I find with them is that when you put them in a bigger pot, you just have to regulate the watering really well and make sure that you water wisely, and they grow really, really fast with a lot of root space. So look, I'm not too concerned about short-term growth. I'm very concerned about long-term growth. So these develop a root system underneath the soil, and that's what thickens the trunk. I'm not interested in lifting it right now anyway. This will be after a few years, then we can worry about that stuff. But for the meantime, what I'm only concerned about is making sure that I give it the best growth possible. So look, what I'm going to do is, first I'm actually going to put a different top coat on it. And as you can see here, some of the roots are exposed. I'm going to try and bury that a little bit more in the next session. Also, you can see it's not even. I'm going to try and straighten that out. That's the hard part. I'm going to use my cake lifter around the side so I can pull it out and then see how we go from there. As usual, I'm going to use Osmocote on the soil, but I'm not going to mix it in here. It's too annoying. So what I'm going to do is, as I put soil in there, just put a little sprinkle, mix it in, okay? This is a very high mineral content, like all Pachypodiums. I use a special blend of the cacti potting mix here. There's a place called Coromandel Cacti. His name is Martin. He is the cacti king. He is a cacti king, and he formulates his own mix. Actually, his own mix already has all sorts of good stuff in there. I think he mixes some anti-pest material in there. Also, he mixes some fertilizer in there. But Osmocote is a slow-release fertilizer, so putting a little bit more isn't going to harm it, as long as you don't go overboard, right? Like succulents and cacti, they don't need a huge amount of fertilizer. So it's a lot of soil because it's a big pot, but that's okay. It's going to stay here for a very, very long time. So let's sort out the pot first. First of all, I'm going to plug the hole in the bottom and make sure that we have good drainage. So what I'm actually going to do is, I might use some of this stones as like a layer of drain, okay? A layer of drain right at the bottom, okay? So it never compacts in the bottom. You don't want it to ever compact. And look, what I do is this. So roughly the height is almost pretty much there. So I'm gonna put a fill at the bottom and then we'll work it out. Now it's never gonna come out intact, okay? So there's no way it's going to come out intact. Impossible. As they say in Diablo, impossible. So, let's see. Whoops. Forgot some Osmocote. Don't need much. Now I like to have a scoop ready. let's bring that shit in, as Rage Against the Machine would say. Bring that shit in. Yeah, you know if you know. Oh, ow, fuck. Ow, it hurts. Okay, let's be careful then, eh? Cool. Let's see what the root system is like. Oh, okay, the roots have gone all the way to the bottom. Let's loosen up the bottom. Wow. Actually, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. The roots have reached quite deep to the bottom. I am completely surprised by that. I did not expect that at all. For the roots to reach the bottom. I am going to put that here. Now, I'm going to use some of that sand and soil, because it's actually pretty good to use sand and soil. Actually, look, that looks like it's pretty deep. What I'm doing is I'm creating a bowl, and then I'm going to let the bowl collapse on itself, yeah? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be gentle. There we go. I'm going to be gentle with that shit. I'm going to push the soil in. And then what I'm going to do is, it's still pretty low level, but kind of right level. So I'm going to lift it up a little bit as I put more soil in. There you go. So okay, so let's see. How is that? Is it straight? Yes, it's straight. There we go. I'm just checking the aesthetic from all angles. It's looking good. I'm going to keep it at that. So I'm going to I'm going to compact the sides, because that's really what we should be doing. Clear some of this. Okay. Don't want to compact it too much, but you also want to make sure that you're not loose, you know what I mean? As you water it, it will sink a little anyway. But what we're going to do is I'm going to raise the level, and I'm going to make sure that the roots aren't covered. Now, this is going to grow quite fast. The roots are big. Okay, so I'm going to bury that there. There we go. There. Look at that. So I'm going to do this. Okay, cool. Now, here's the cool part. Let me always the label. Cool. Now let's top dress this thing. I'm gonna compress the sides so the stones don't go out, but just kind of leave the middle relatively loose. This won't need watering because the inherent moisture in the soil will be okay for a while until spring, and then I'm going to do it a deep water, deep water, okay? So let's you want very light top dressing near the trunk. You don't want much there. There you go. Like I said, this is going to stay here for a long time, right? In the summer, I'm going to bring it outside in the peak of summer. I'm going to bring it outside and let it get hot Auckland high UV sun. But over here, you can see in this area here, this gets to about 30 to 33 degrees in the peak of summer, okay? And it gets a shitload of light, like from about 11 a.m. Gets direct sun through the glass. The glass filters the UV, so it's not so harsh. So some plants, they don't have direct light, but when you have it in this area here, it's actually okay because it's quite forgiving, and it's really good because it's really bright spectrum, but it's not ridiculous. So here you go. I'm gonna, there. Look at that. There you go. Looks better. Nice pot too.